Joe's Corner 76. I will be sharing opinions on the human condition on a periodic basis. You can follow Joe's Corner 76 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Does Trudeau deserve a second term? I hope he doesn't sue me for this. What is his perception of Canada? There is no core identity, no mainstream in Canada, Trudeau said, concluding he sees Canada as the first post-national state. Canada has never been a homogeneous state. There is no one particular race or ethnicity, but that does not mean we do not have a distinct culture. We as a country stand out in the world. Our history is based on our identity. Our nation's values and traditions date back over 800 years to the signing of the Magna Carta. This helped enshrine our natural rights and freedoms and limits the power of the government. Is Canada, perhaps more than any other Western country, not a living example of this document? The Reputation Institute ranked Canada as the most admired country in the world. Our peaceful, free, fair, and just society is the envy of the world. How did we get this reputation? Our freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and political system are based on laws. Our legal system has always been free from political influence. The rule of law would prevail over political interference. This makes us different from the repressive regimes that exist only by force. They deny human rights. Canadians fought and died to preserve our freedom, the right to speak freely and practice our religious beliefs without interference. People want to come here from around the world to have these freedoms. They like the fact that they can vote to change the government. Many cultures from around the world have come to Canada and live in peace and harmony under our democratic system. Trudeau seems to be taking everything Canada has to offer for granted. He doesn't feel that there is anything special about Canada's history or traditions. His view is that Canada is just a mixed group of people from various backgrounds who just happen to live side by side in the country known as Canada. He was asked what nation he admired the most. He replied, "There is a level of admiration for China. Their basic dictatorship is actually allowing them to turn their economy around." Trudeau doesn't reflect my Canada. Is he really a feminist? Trudeau says he's a feminist. Asked why he had so many women in cabinet, he said, because it's 2015. He prides himself on this. How does he show this? When he was asked about groping a reporter in BC in 2000, he said to the reporter, "If I had known that you were with a major publication, I would not have been so forward." He later said she experienced it differently. He had a physical altercation with NDP member Ruth Ellen Brousseau. He later apologized for this because he had to. Selena Cesar Chavez stated, Trudeau was hostile towards her when she resigned. He removed two of the most capable women ministers from his cabinet. He can't seem to take strong women who disagree with him. He was very condescending when he corrected a young woman and told her to use people kind versus mankind. Dozens of women turned their backs on Trudeau in the House of Commons as he addressed the daughters of the vote. He has not kept his promise to Indigenous women. Trudeau doesn't strike me as a real feminist. Is Trudeau aware of economics and the effect it has on Canadians? Trudeau stated in 2015 that the budget would balance itself. Is he for real? The budget deficit was $19.4 billion in 2017 and $19.4 billion in 2018. He promised a modest deficit of $9 billion in the first year with a balanced budget by 2019. The government predicts a balanced budget by 2040, some economists. He spent billions buying a pipeline. When is he proposing to build it? We are losing billions of dollars because of this. He was very proactive in stating he wanted to save 9,000 jobs at SNL Lavalin. What about the thousands of jobs lost in Alberta? The carbon tax was imposed without any discussion and explanation as to how it would resolve climate change. We need conversation and agreement on issues, not unilateral imposition. Look at the fiasco with free trade. It did not go as well as it could have because of Trudeau's insistence on political correctness rather than getting the best deal for Canada. Mr. Prime Minister, be a leader to all Canadians. What plan does Trudeau have to solve climate change? He has not set out a concrete plan to fight climate change, just attacks. He won't let pipelines be built to benefit Canadians in our economy. He has no problem in letting millions of dollars be used to import dirty oil from repressive countries. All of the lost revenues could be used to build our economy, provide needed services, and help with an actual solution to climate change. Is he too busy jetting all over to increase his carbon footprint? Don't let him make climate change his main platform. We have other urgent problems too. Trudeau said Canada was back on the world stage. Are we? Look at his trip to India. His actions offended a potential major trading partner. Was the photo op worth it? Did he get a job in Bollywood? Look at his dealing with China. Look at his politically correct speech. Are we really back? How effective is he in regulating immigration? Trudeau calls illegal immigrants irregular immigrants. He won't enforce the laws at our borders to prevent illegal immigrants. He does not want convicted terrorists to lose their citizenship. The Liberals don't want to properly vet new immigrants. Let's ask for a system that respects legal immigrants. He won't even reimburse the provinces for the millions of dollars they pay to provide for the illegal immigrants. Many of us are tired of the fact that we don't get the same quality of care that these immigrants get. Trudeau seems to be a serial apologizer. Is he missing a few apologies that really should be made? How about apologizing for giving Omar Khadr $10.4 million. He got a shopping plaza. No court would have awarded this amount. Mark Norman deserves an apology for his treatment. The House of Commons apologized, but not Trudeau. Let's not forget the apologies to his female ministers. Does Trudeau support the principles that law is free from political interference? His conduct at SNL-Lavalin says no. He used his Liberal majority to shut down a full inquiry. Who in the government tried to influence the appointment of the Supreme Court Justice? How did Trudeau know that Mark Norman would go to trial? Why is he using his majority to stop a full inquiry into the Mark Norman case? I wonder if Trudeau deserves the title, the Right Honourable. We have to make sure our laws are free from political interference. Let's not let the proponents of political correctness change our laws so that you're labelled if you do not agree with a position that the government considers politically correct. Universities need to have free speech enshrined in their constitutions. State and religion should be separate. The government should not be able to give preference to any specific religion. They did try, don't let them. Because you question policies does not mean you're a hate monger. It just means that you live in a country that is free and has laws to protect all of us, and that no one is above the law. Don't let Trudeau forget this. Trudeau is still not ready. Vote him out. Don't let him buy your votes with more promises your great-grandchildren will have to pay for.